We're on day 39 of our 60-day healing journey to establish healthy boundaries. This journey is for anyone who's feeling guilty after they say no. If you are having resentment after saying yes, if you just have a hard time establishing healthy boundaries, if so, this is the journey for you. We are on day 39, and the affirmation for today is, I am steady in my choices, regardless of others' reactions. I am steady in my choices, regardless of others' reactions. Listen, some people are going to take it personal when you create boundaries for yourself, and that's okay. Some people are going to get angry when you create boundaries for yourself, and that's okay. Some people are probably going to be sad and gaslight you and try to make you feel like you're doing something wrong when you create boundaries, and that's okay. I remember one time, some years ago, I had a gathering, and I had an associate there at the time. I considered her to be somewhat of a close friend. This is some years back. And at this gathering, she just turned into a whole nother person. The way that she was behaving was not what I expected from a friend. And I know people say you shouldn't have expectations for others, whatever. I know how I would like to be treated, and I know how I treat other people. And I knew that she had already, had this behavior a couple of other times, but probably not this extreme. But that particular day, I had to draw the line. I had to let her know this is just not what I expect from a friend. I considered you to be more like a sister to me, and the way you treated me just was not right. And she knew that she had done something wrong. I wasn't overreacting. But she didn't just take it that way. At first it was anger. And after we got through that conversation, later on it was, I miss you, etc. When you know you're moving into certain spaces, and if everything inside you is saying it's time to let go, you got to listen to yourself. Because yourself is trying to guide you. And as you get further along in the journey, you'll understand why this had to happen. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So you have to be steady, although it may hurt, because it hurt me to hurt her. But I knew it wasn't healthy for me. It was giving me anxiety. It was making my back feel funny. My neck was feeling funny. My stomach was feeling weird. I just wasn't feeling positive vibrations and love and healing and the things you want to get from friends. I wasn't feeling that from her, so I knew it was time to let her go. So that's an example of sometimes things will press you. People may seem very sad and hurt about the choices that you make, but ultimately, you know deep down inside what needs to happen. Sometimes you got to let go, and sometimes letting go is the hardest thing. Sometimes creating those boundaries is the hardest things. And I'm not saying everybody has to handle it the way I did, but I knew it had been time, because I had been growing and growing and growing quickly and jumping timelines and just expanding very fast. And I already knew that certain things couldn't go along with me. It just didn't match. So I had to create boundaries. And when those boundaries were no longer doing what I needed them to do, where I couldn't control the situation and narrative, I just had to let it go. So that was my spill. I'm sorry for going on and on and on, but that one thing, but maybe somebody can relate. So that's the affirmation. I'm steady in my choices regardless of others' reactions. The somatic practice is you shake out your arms and legs to release tension. So 5 minutes of shaking arms and legs to release tension. The visualization technique today is visualize energy expanding and retracting like a soft shield. So we're going to visualize the energy expanding and retracting like a soft shield. So it's like a breathing type energy. We're going to imagine that source of protection and light that expands us and retracts at the same time. Let's try that visualization technique for like 10 minutes if you could hold it. Just get into that feeling of that. The journal prompt is, how do I feel when someone challenges my boundaries? How do I feel when someone challenges my boundaries? Now, this may be different, I guess, with different people, depending on how close they are to you in your life. But how do you feel when someone challenges your boundaries? You know, does it make you feel like you're not worthy? Or, you know, where do you go with that? Do you go to like a place of lower self-esteem? You know, do you go to a place of anger and frustration? Do you just give up and say, you know, I'm tired and I just can't? Like, where do you, like, how do you feel when someone challenges your boundaries? Because we can't take other people's behavior personal. They have to deal with the choices that you make, just like you have to deal with the choices they have to make. And if it's coming from a good space, a healthy, loving space of this boundary needs to be created for the both of us, because I care about you, because I care about me. If it's coming from that space, you know, what else can you do? So how do you feel when someone challenges your boundaries? The tiny boundary practice for today is politely say no to one intrusive question or request. Politely say no to one intrusive question or request. If someone asks you to see something, you know, that's private to you, you may have out something, you may have your phone out and somebody might say, oh, can I see that? And you don't want them to see, say no. You know, somebody might want to pop up. I'm in town. Well, I'm on that side of town. I'm right down the street. Can I pop up? No. Today it's not a good time for me. I don't like when people pop up on me. So the bonus holistic tip for today is take a short mindful walk outdoors, noticing nature and your breath. Take a short mindful walk outdoors, noticing nature and your breath. How does it feel? That is our bonus holistic tip for today. I hope everybody is having like a lovely day. I hope everyone is stress-free. We're getting to the end of the year and there's a lot going on. A lot of people are hustling and bustling. Take time to do your breathing exercises. Create the boundaries so that you don't get pulled in to all of that madness that's happening. Don't take things personal. If you need to step aside and breathe, step aside and breathe. Do things that help you relax. Listen to music. Listen to running water. Frequencies that bring calmness to the body. Herbal teas that relax you. Breathing exercises. Water. A half of your body weight in ounces per day. Get into the sunlight so that you're able to, you know, bring in that vitamin D, and the sun just has a healing effect. I like to say, some people don't like the sun, and I like to say, thank you, sun, for healing me. And the sun just feels so good on my skin. So those are just some tips that I wanted to add in at the end of this video. If you want to share how you are dealing with boundaries along this journey, or if you're having any type of situations that are just crazy that you want to share, put it below in the comments. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for subscribing. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Mwah.